Yeah, hi there. Continuing with our object-oriented programming with Python tutorial. So in this, we are going to cover the class inheritance. So inheritance is a feature that allows a class to uh, basically inherit all the attributes and the methods from its parent class. So this is useful in a sense that it allows a subclass to inherit all the functionality of the parent class without affecting the functionality of the parent class, and also it provides the opportunity to override any functionality of the parent class. Also, if required, it can add the new functionality. So we have a class employee in which it's the same class that we have been using in the previous tutorial. So basically it has a class variable salary hike percentage which defaults to 4, and there is an initialization method which initializes the first name, last name, and salary. Full name instance method which returns the first name concatenated with last name, and then there is a class method set salary hike percentage which actually sets the class variables salary hike percentage with whatever value we are passing. Then there is apply salary hike instance method which actually applies, or you can say it gives a salary hike basically. Okay, now this is the class that we have. Now we are using this class employee, and based on this class we are going to create some subclasses. So let's say we are creating the first subclass as engineer. So the way to create a subclass is class, uh, class name is engineer, and within bracket we are specifying employee. So what it means that this class engineer is going to inherit all the features, that is all the attributes and the methods which are defined in the employee. So employee becomes a parent class and engineer becomes a subclass. And then we are passing pass, and then we are specifying pass here. What it means that it is not doing anything else. Whatever is there in the employee, it simply inherits, and that's it. So we are creating employee E1 as an instance of engineer. Now engineer, since because it inherits employee, so it has to pass the same values at the time of the object creation, whatever the values are required for the employee, that is the first name, last name, and salary. And we can print the employee full name, and we can apply the salary hike to employee E1, and we can print the salary. So if you see employee E1's full name is Tom Walter, this is what we are printing here. And now this class engineer also inherits the methods which are specified in the employee class. So default, which is 4%, which is specified in the class variable of employee class. And after the salary hike, we are just printing the salary, which comes as 31200. Okay. Now we are creating another subclass manager. So in manager, so class is a manager, and it inherits from employee. Now in this class, what we are doing is we are just overriding one thing. We are overriding the class variable salary hike percentage to 10. So what we're saying that all the manager employees should get 10% salary hike. So that's it. Now we are creating an instance, or an object of manager. So E2, it's a manager, and the first name, last name, salary. We are applying the salary hike by calling E2 dot apply salary hike. Now, in this case, when the salary hike method is called for employee E2, what it will do, it will it will take the whatever percentage we are specifying in this manager's uh, class for this variable salary hike percentage. So it will give a 10% hike because we are overriding here. Uh, as you know that inheritance allows to override the features of the parent class. And then we are simply printing the full name of employee E2 and the salary after the hike. So Kim Jones is the name of the employee. So Kim Jones after salary hike, salary is 33,000, which is a 10% hike. Fine. Now we are creating another subclass developer, which is inheriting from employee. So, and in that developer class, we are also creating init method. So what we are doing in this init method, we are passing the first name, last name, salary. these are the commons which we are specified in the employee class as well. And the additional attribute that we are passing is the main skill, which was not handled in the employee. So developer basically it handles the four type of attributes: first name, last name, salary, and main skill. Now, since first three attributes can be handled by the parent class itself, so what we can do is we can call the init method of the parent class using this syntax: super dot underscore init underscore, and we can pass first name, last name, and salary. So these three first attributes are taken care by the parents init method, and what is left is the main skill that we can directly deal in this init method. So we can say self dot main skill equals to main skill whatever we are passed, and then what we are doing, we are creating an object of developer class, instantiating an object based on the developer class. So we are passing the first name, last name, salary, and the main skill as Python. So we are printing the full name of the employee and the main skill. So if you see here, we have Ash Watson has key skill as Python. So the key thing to notice in the in the subclass, we can pass more attributes than the parent class. So parent class was having only first name, last name, and salary. So we want to specify more attributes to the subclass. So we can add those additional attributes, and then we can make the use of parents class initialization method to initialize whatever values the parents init method can handle, and whatever is left that we can deal directly in the subclass init method. Now next we are creating a subclass called as lead. So and it is inheriting from the employee. In it we are specifying the init method as following. So we have first name, last name, salary, the same three attributes which are there in the employee class as well. And then the fourth attribute is the employees, which is equals to none. What it means that he is a lead and he will be leading a group of employees. So initi the default value we are giving is as none because we don't know how many employees initially he would be leading. Okay, now since first name, last name, and salary are there in the parent class employee, so that we can directly deal with using super dot init method, and we can pass first name, last name, and salary. Now, after that, we are checking if employees is none, then make it self dot employees equals to an empty list of employees. Otherwise, whatever list is passed at the time of initialization of lead object, that is set to the self dot employees. Now we are also providing a couple of additional methods, like we can add an employee for, let's say there is a new employee who is added to the leads team, so we can add an employee. So we are passing that employee. If employee is already not existing in the leads team, then we can simply say self dot employees dot append employee. If now at the same time we are also specifying another method called remove employee, which allows to remove an employee. Let's say if there is a change in the team and some employee moves out to a different team, and so we have to remove that employee from the leads team. So we can do it using self dot employees dot remove and emp. So whatever employee has moved out, we can remove that employee. Next is we have another instance method print employees, which prints the number of employees which are led by the current lead. So since all these employees are stored in employees list, so we are looping through it and we are printing each of such employees full name. Okay, now we are creating an object E4, that is employee E4, based on this lead subclass, and we are passing the first name, last name, salary, and we are passing a list which indicates, and this list has only one employee E1. So what it indicates that create an employee E4 whose name is Ashley King with a salary 30,000, and currently he is leading only one employee which is E1. So this is what we are printing. If you see, uh, e4 dot full name. If I print, I get Ashley King, and I'm calling e4 dot print employee. So whoever employees are currently led by Ashley, they are printed here. So team of, it says team of Ashley King, and we are just printing only one employee is there in his team right now, who is E1, and E1's full name is uh, Tom Walter. So this is what we are getting in the output, Tom Walter. Now what we are doing is we are adding few more employees. We are adding employees to the team of Ashley King. This is what we are printing. So adding employees to the team of Ashley King. So we are calling add underscore employee method, and we are passing the employee object E2. E2 gets added. Again, we are passing E1. So E1 was already added at the time of initialization, which we are passing again. So we already have a logic in place in the add underscore employee, such that if employee doesn't exist, then only add it, otherwise don't add it. So this is to avoid any duplication. Let's say by default we are adding any employee twice. So that shouldn't happen, that two instances of the same employee get added in the list. So that check is already there. So if I print now, adding employees to the team of Ashley King. So the team of Ashley King is Tom Walters and Kim Jones. So Tom Walter is employee E1 and Kim Jones is employee E2. Now let's say we want to remove an employee. So what we have to do is just simply call the method remove employee of E4. So E4 dot remove underscore employee, and we have to specify which employee we have to remove. Let's say we want to remove E1. So E1 is removed, and after that, if I print the list again, the team of Ashley King has only one member now, who is Kim Jones, that is the E2 employee, second employee. So in this way, in inheritance, what we are doing is we are creating subclasses based on we have created different subclasses based on the parent class, and we have the choice, that is we can if required, we can alter any attribute of the parent class, and we can also have a choice to add more attributes in a subclass, and accordingly modify the subclass without impacting the parent class. So that's it for now in this tutorial. Thank you.